Hello and happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Party Chat. We got a very special episode planned today. Happy early Valentine's Day. And in honor of Valentine's Day, I thought I've had this idea for a while, and Nadia's been pushing me for it for a while. So I thought, in honor of Valentine's Day, what better day to do it? We're having a ladies edition of Party Chat. So I have a bunch of wonderful ladies joining me today to talk about some fun video game topics. So as I said, Nadia, who has not been on my channel yet, I've had Chris on for Party Chat before, but not Nadia. So thank you for joining me. And we'll let her plug it at the end, but part of Inside All Day podcast where they talk about movies. So go check that out if you are a movie person. We have my internet nemesis, Melee K, joining us as well.
Way to start the heat.
I know.
We bicker about literally everything, but we are still, I consider us to be great friends.
Listen, this is a stream of love today, so I need to be nice to you. I'm going to try. If anyone has a counter out there, I know Dude is really good at keeping track of math. Tell me how long it takes before I say something that Neo and I disagree with. I'm genuinely curious.
We got a couple others who I've talked to in chat before, but never been on a stream with. We've got green-haired anti-liberal, also known as Tiff or Gal for short. Hello, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk nerdy shit and stuff.
Yes. And lastly, we have horror Amorata, Queen Cthulhu?
Cthulhu Corn.
Oh, okay.
So, just kind of Cthulhu gamer, whatever you want to call me.
Cool. Well,
also, just call me Amorata if you're worried about, sounding like you're saying a word that you don't want to say.
I don't want to sound like Gary butchering words.
Hey, that has gotten me a lot of publicity over the years. Don't knock it.
It has. I was like, Amorata's probably a little bit safer to stick with. So thank you for joining me, Amorata. Ryan is on his way. He's driving. He'll be here in a few minutes. My other regular co-host, Martha Cyborg, is traveling, which unfortunately means I was trying to also get X-Ray Girl on here, but since they are out of out of their country, they're traveling, they won't be able to make it today, either of them. But we've got a wonderful panel today, so thank you for joining us. Let's quickly say hi to some in the chat. We've got my internet twin, Kay's other half, Melee James. What's up, James? We had a great stream last night on Town Square talking about cosmetics, so go check that out on their channel if you want to hear a great discussion about video game cosmetics.
Oh, here I thought you guys were talking about makeup. I'm like, okay.
No. And my good buddy Dude 1286, who we had our Achievement Chasers episode 4 last night. So if you like talk about achievements, because we are both big achievement hunters, you can check that out here on my channel. There's a playlist for it. And we've got someone from Kick, Leo. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And that looks like that's everyone in chat. So we'll go ahead and get started. So what I like to do is start off the episode with kind of briefly going over anything or everything that you have been playing lately. Oh, we have one more quick addition. My other good buddy, Nordporia Lifehorn, hopping in saying, what up, ladies? Yo. He's a good buddy of mine. So we'll go around, and if I don't know how big of gamers you guys are, but if you've been playing anything lately, what have you been playing? And anything you have to say about that. So, Kay, I know you probably got something lined up.
Oh my god, I've been playing too many games lately, but I'm gonna gush about 2 games specifically because I just have to. First of all, if you're a fighting fan, Tekken 8 is probably like the best game I've played in a long time for fighters. If you are a fan of Dead or Alive, as I know Nerdy Neo and I actually agree on this, we both like the Dead or Alive ladies. Something we agree on. For once.
Yes. Fighting games is one of the genres I don't really ever play. But if there was one I'd get into, it'd probably be DOA.
It's DOA.
And that's mainly because one of my favorite games of all time, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ryo Hayabusa is the main character of that, and he's in the Dead or Alive because they're all Team Ninja games.
That makes so much sense now. I was trying to figure out for ages why you liked it, because I'm like, you're not a fighting game guy at all. This makes no sense. I thought you'd be like I thought you'd be a Mortal Kombat guy, if anything. So I was like super confused. Anyways, tangent already. I'm gonna be the Mark the Cyborg today.
We all need one.
Shout out to him, he's awesome. But so Tekken 8, it's beautiful. To me, it's the spiritual successor of DOA at this point. You can't find anything quite like DOA anymore. So it's chaotic, it's fun. The other thing that I want to gush about is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo. I've played it twice. I know a lot of people are not necessarily happy about the direction of Final Fantasy. I don't care. I'm having a great time. They made beautiful character models. The combat's overhauled. That demo, oh my god, play it. If you have a PlayStation, play it. It's good. That's. I could go on longer, but I'm just gonna stop there.
Cool. Excellent. The other genre that I'm not big on, as Kay probably knows, is JRPGs.
Yeah,
So
I'm not going to
never...
talk long about JRPGs here at all because Neo's going to be like, boring, I'm going to bed.
Boring. But
see, this is why you're my waifu.
Exactly.
Well, shit, maybe I shouldn't be here.
I have no problem if you like JRPGs. I just don't care for them, so I've never been into Final Fantasy. But if there was a Final Fantasy I would get into, it would be the remake because they changed the combat to more of a real time, and I'm all about that. So unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't try it.
I've only ever played Final Fantasy VIII. That's the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played.
Final
Shout out to that game.
Is my
it's pretty good.
No, I don't hate good games. I just don't care for JRPGs. I'm not
saying
they're
good
bad.
Games.
The Rebirth looks great. I think this would be a good introduction for me into 7 if I picked up the Rebirth. I have a PlayStation 5, so
you should. Honestly, you should play it because like it's really hard to go back to the original tactics ones, especially if you're not like into that kind of style of gaming. I think this is a really good jumping off point for anyone who wants to be a Final Fantasy fan. That or Final Fantasy 16 is honestly another good one. So one of those two. Don't. Why are you indulging games?
God.
Because we agree on almost everything.
Agree. Such a ridiculous argument. Get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
RPGs are amazing.
Oh no, God forbid you have time to strategize. How terrible.
There have been a few turn-based games that I have enjoyed. I will give that. But Nadia, since you were talking about your PlayStation, have you been playing anything recently?
I'm still working through Baldur's Gate. I'm still playing Baldur's Gate, but when I know. I accidentally, purposely killed Shadowheart, and I have not gone back yet. I had to walk away. It was very traumatic. And on my Switch, because I'm more of a Switch player lately, I've been playing House Flipper. And that seems to, that's a really, if you like the design part of The Sims, then I highly recommend House Flipper because you don't have any humans or creatures to worry about, and you just literally just flip houses, design them, flip them, do everything for them. So
cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's not quite my style.
Cool. He really does hate good games, doesn't he?
No, I'm not against like management style stuff because I basically took off like nearly 2 months of achievement hunting because I was so addicted to Satisfactory, and you're just building stuff. So I totally understand that. All right, Amorata, what is so great that you've been playing?
Well, I've been into Pal World lately. Mostly playing with sheep. We enjoy playing that together, which is fun. I'm probably not going to stick with it too much longer because another game I'm very excited for is coming out this month. And that's Nightingale, which is going to be a survival kind of set in Victorian steampunky fantasy realm, and I'm very excited for that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Other than that, I've been playing some Timberborn, which is kind of a survival management with beavers in a post-apocalyptic world.
Nice.
It's one of those great little games where you sit down and you make the beavers do their tasks and you watch them do them, and that's great. I've been into Baldur's Gate 3, but I reached a point where I didn't realize if I rested, something was going to happen and totally wipe out a whole bunch of people, and I'm kind of irritated, so I've stepped away from it for a bit, kind of like Nadia did after killing Shadowheart. I haven't gotten that far. I'm probably over 100 hours into the game, and I'm not sure I've gotten through the first chapter. So I'm really slow with those games. Other than
Mark
that,
has done nothing but praise Baldur's Gate 3 for many episodes.
It's a great game. I mean, you probably won't like it because it's turn-based, but it's still fantastic. It's got one of my favorite, another one of the games I've been playing, which is an old retro game, is Neverwinter Nights. From way back in the early 2000s, and I've been playing that with Sheep and 2 other guys as a co-op. And the story
that's what you meant when you said playing with sheep. I thought you meant sheep in Pal World. You're playing with Sheep
No, I meant Sheep Obsidian.
That makes more sense. It took me a second. Because there are sheep in Pal World.
I've been eating those sheep. There's a difference.
It took me a moment.
Apparently. No, Sheepsidian. He is the Pokemon lover of the two of us, and so he was having fun of it. And I thought, as his girlfriend, I should try to get in there and ruin it for him. I have failed miserably, but that said, what else have I been playing? Off stream, I've been playing. I found a tavern simulator game called Tavern Master. And you build a tavern and you serve people drinks and keep building it. And that's my off stream shit. So
Cool.
but yeah, it's been fun. But right now I'm really focused on getting to Nightingale this month. So
Cool. Yeah, I hadn't even heard of that game, so I'll have to check that out.
Do you know off the bat if Nightingale is just PC or will it be console too?
Far as I know right now, it's just PC.
I've got to get on the PC master race.
There's a reason it's the master race.
I know. It's a goal for this year.
All right. And Gal, what have you been playing lately?
So I'm generally an old school gamer. I don't follow newer games because I love my old JRPGs. And
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I did Oninaki. It's like an older game as far as I'm aware.
That's familiar.
There was like a demo. It was on sale, and I saw that there was a demo, so I was like, I might as well do the demo and see if I liked it, which I really enjoyed it. So I got it. I haven't started since the demo ended, but I'm excited to get further into that because it was an interesting premise. So there's that, and then
What's
I started
that game about?
So they're called Watchers, and they're kind of the Shinigami of their game, where if there's any lost souls, they find them to get them to the other side. So like that are in a state of limbo.
Is it like a management style, like Spiritfarer?
I don't know that game. It's more like an RPG, JRPG.
Okay. Gotcha.
But it's not turn-based.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun, and basically you're following this one main character that his parents died in the beginning, and he sees kind of like this spirit-like girl and doesn't know who she is, and then he grows up and becomes a watcher, just like his friend's dad, and kind of just jumped to that, and he's kind of become a cynical person. And so he's just very straightforward with the spirits. He doesn't really, what's the term? Couch
emotionally connect.
Yeah. Like he just very straightforward with them, and just like
brutally honest.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Even if it's just a little boy spirit and whatnot, which I kind of like. I like those type of characters where they don't mince words. But then I started playing Monster Hunter World, which is not a normal game that I'm used to. So I kind of suck.
I've heard that's a tough one to get into.
I just started, so I have to not be hard on myself. And I've never been like the type of gamer where other people would have to rely on me and I have to rely on other people, because I'm not as good as other people and I'm very hard on myself. I'm kind of a competitive person. So I get like really emotional if I suck. And so I just have to play it more. Cause like I did start out in a party with friends, and one of them was my brother, and he knows how I am. So he was kind of making fun of me, but also trying to be nice because he knows how I get. But it's a lot of fun. I just need to actually do it myself before doing another party. Otherwise I'm going to get mad, and it's going to seem like I'm mad at everyone else and I'm just mad at myself. So yeah, those are the two main ones that I'm focusing on, but I do want to dust off my PS2 so I can play my old school favorites. Like, yeah, nice. We can get into that later though.
All right. Nerd Portal has a question. Oh, for Kay, asking, does the rebirth begin in Calm?
I have not looked much into Rebirth on purpose. All I know is the demo is the Nibelheim incident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So play it. But okay. I'm purposely not watching stuff because I just want to jump in as soon as it, like, literally the second I can download it, I'm playing it. That's it. So that's actually, like, a lot of people are mad at this remake because they want it to be 1-to-1. The thing I like is I don't know what's going to happen. So that's actually I'm like, oh, what if scenario? That's cool. So
I like that, not going in knowing anything about it and then just playing it without any bias.
yeah, exactly. It's like, which way are you going to move this game? I don't know. So, but yeah, play the demo.
I guess my only problem with that is you could then rename it as opposed to attaching it to the Final Fantasy VII name. But
it's called Rebirth. It's not called Remaster. That's my defense of it.
All right, we got a couple more hopping in chat. I've got Left Eye Ego, who I've not seen before. Is that
you know
anybody?
who that is?
yeah, I know that. That's Ego.
Who's that?
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen you before, but welcome. Thank you for joining us. And my good buddy, Psychotic Mongoose. What's up, bro?
Yay, Mongoose.
And James has a question for Gal saying, have you played Spec Ops The Line?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
If you do play it, as he says in his next chat, don't look up spoilers. It's a great plot twist game.
You should never look up spoilers anyway.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I still don't know spoilers for Baldur's Gate. I still have no idea how any of the characters' storyline end. So
I worked very diligently to know anything about the games I decide to play.
Same.
All right. And then for me, I talked about a little bit on Achievement Chasers with Dewey last night, but I started playing through, as I've seen a number of other people with all this terrible Suicide Squad nonsense. Well, a bunch of us are like, hey, let's play a good Batman game. So James and I have recently both started playing Arkham City. And who was it? I think Fractured Filter started playing Arkham Asylum recently. Play some good Batman games. So I started playing through that. What was that? How far did I get last night? I just beat Penguin last night. So I'm pretty close to the beginning of the game. But I hadn't played it since it came out in like 10 years ago. So it's been a long time. So it's good. It's almost going through it fresh again because I only vaguely remember it. Other than I remember it was really good. And then on Thursday night, Spartacus and I started playing through Outriders because it is a 3-player game. So if anyone wants to play Outriders with us, it is cross-play on any platform. So the two of us started playing. We got room for one more if anyone wants to join us. And that's been fun. I was a big fan of Destiny, so it's very Destiny-like. So we've been having some fun playing that. So, and Static's here. What's up, Static? Good to see you, bro.
Hey, Static.
All right. And mark that at 18 minutes, and we'll get into our topics for today. So I'm not necessarily going to go in the order that I had them posted when I sent them to you, but this is similar to a topic that I had before, but a little bit different. One of my early questions was about your first gaming crush, but I thought for today it'd be fun to talk about your biggest gaming crush. So my answer to the first one, when I actually had Hijabi on, I told her she could make it, but we just weren't quite able to make it work. My answer was, my first gaming crush was Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark, which is one of my favorite games from my childhood. It was basically the spiritual successor to GoldenEye, and it took everything GoldenEye did and did it better, but it didn't do as well as GoldenEye. When people talk about like console shooters back in the 90s, it's always GoldenEye, and I always say like Perfect Dark was better. And it was led by a hot redheaded lady with a British accent. But my biggest gaming crush goes to my favorite video game franchise of all time is Mass Effect. And she's literally genetically perfect. And she's voiced and modeled, I think, also by a smoking hot lady, is Yvonne Strahovski. And her character in Mass Effect is Miranda Lawson. So that's my biggest gaming crush. And they changed it, unfortunately, in the Legendary Edition, but they have some very good shots of her back end in the original games. And, I think any guy would appreciate those. It's just a bummer they got rid of those, although I heard they patched them back in with mods. But smoking hot lady, genetically perfect, a hot voice actress, biggest gaming crush. So I want to hear from you, ladies. Who are your biggest video game crushes? So open the floor to whoever wants to go first.
Look, Neo.
Thank God.
First of all, Neo, you stole one of mine. Now let me talk about gaming crushes a little bit. Like, I know as a female, I should be like, oh, I love Leon Kennedy. Oh my God, he's so great. All this stuff. No, I don't idolize pixel men. I've got an attractive man at home. Okay, so I'm good. But let's talk about attractive females, because everyone else can talk about guys today. I'll talk about attractive females. So Miranda was on there for me because damn, that ass.
Thank you.
Can I say ass?
Well, you
It's
said it twice
technically a
already.
word.
I'm going to keep saying ass.
Did he, I think he did say ass, didn't he?
It's literally
Ashley as
perfect.
well. Ashley as well. I know that they kind of botched her sometimes, but Ashley can look good in a good angle.
I was when Ashley first showed up at the beginning of Mass Effect 3, I didn't even recognize her because they changed her look so much. And I'm like, wait, that's Ashley? I was like, damn.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And then the last one that you and I will agree on, Neo. This is me building the bridge. Remember I said I'll build the bridge with one question.
Okay, I think I know where you're going with this.
Maybe. Let's see. Tina from
yes, that's
DOA.
what I thought you were
exactly.
going to say.
That is our waifu together. Tina from DOA. There you go. Those are my answers.
Yes, that is a very good pick. Like I said, I've not really played any DOA games, but I know some of the characters through the Team Ninja verse. And yeah, Tina's smoking hot. And she's very American, and I'm all about red, white, and blue because my birthday is July 4th. So
So's
I'm
my
all about
dad's.
that.
You're a Yankee Doodle
Really?
dandy.
Awesome.
Just don't look up what the word dandy means.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Just put the Yankee Doodle in front of it. Y'all aren't going to know who my first crush was. I mean, I guess you could call it a crush. I'm kind of similar. I don't really idolize any type of pixelated character, whether it's male or female. But so when
just real briefly, because we had my other guest hop in, I just saw him backstage, and his background is just.
Oh, Lord, no. I'm so tired of his stupid background.
What's up, Ryan?
What's going on? I don't know what you guys talk about.
I hate
Glad
it so
you could make it.
She's in my town right now. She's in my town right now.
I never thought my respect for somebody could drop so fast.
I know.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm not sure what's going on.
For him, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So,
That's true. That's true.
All right, go ahead and continue, Gal.
The game growing up, because I wasn't as familiar with Japanese as I am now, I called it Suikoden.
Yeah.
But it's Suikoden. But Joey from Suikoden 2 was definitely my favorite. I actually played the second one before the first one just because a friend had it and lent it to us. But it was definitely him. He was kind of a misunderstood character, really good guy, quiet. You didn't really know what he was doing. And at certain points, you thought that he might have turned to the dark side type of character. And that's certainly my MO for dudes in general. So
okay, I've heard of that franchise, but I know literally nothing about it.
It's perfect. I love it. Well, the first two, and then the third one was all right.
Okay.
Didn't play the fourth or fifth.
All right, we'll let you. We're gonna jump over to Ryan. Let him kind of catch up. So we did already get through what we've been playing lately. So if you want to breeze through that real quick, and then we're talking about our biggest gaming crushes right now.
Oh, well, obviously, you know mine, because apparently Madden 2025 is going to happen. No, I'm kidding.
How are you?
I kid. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. That might actually be a thing. We'll wait and see. No, I haven't been playing a whole lot lately. Kind of shifting schedules around at work, so it's one reason I haven't been here for like a month and a half. So it's good to be back again. I should have most Saturdays off. As for on-screen crush, you said?
Video game crush.
Video game crush.
Can you think about it?
No, actually, it's kind of a toss-up. It's going to be a toss-up between probably Bastila from Knights of the
That's what I thought you were going to say.
and then, but it also would probably be a toss-up from, I would say, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider Legend.
Okay.
So in that chunk of the
that
series, I think everything after that was fine, because they kind of finished the Legend series. It was 3 games, right? But yeah, I'd probably have to say between those for very, very different reasons. One was very story driven. The other one was, I was younger.
Makes perfect sense. So we got a couple other friends hopping in the chat. What's up, CLS Studio? Good to see you again. And we also have Professor Savage Dad. What's up, man? Hail. And my other good buddy, I think he jumped on me. Abe. What's up, Abe? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. All right. Nadia or Amorata, who wants to go next?
I I'm like the others. I didn't really have a crush growing up for video game characters, but for some reason I have an obsession with Astarion, and it has to go back to my obsession with Spike with Buffy. I feel
Oh my god.
like it has to the point where I'm very disappointed I did not wear my girl dinner t-shirt that has a ton of Astarion faces on it, and I also have like a mini Astarion stand character.
That's one I
So-
can't understand. He irritates me so much.
I
I would
Can you
kill
show
him in a
that
heartbeat.
again?
I don't get it either. I don't understand it either. He should be irritating to me, but he's not. But he's not.
You have a figure of Astarion? Is that what?
Like a little, yeah.
Okay, I've not even heard of this character. What is that from?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay.
I want to kill him
Yeah.
so bad. The only reason he's not dead is that he's my rogue. That's the only reason.
I have restarted this game 3 times because I have been trying to romance him, yet I get stuck with with Gale each time, and I'm sick of it.
It's okay. I'm on this show. I've not in a while, but
Yes.
and trust me, there have been a few times that I've just let the rules out the window, and I was like, oh man, my bad.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I just asked that you try.
I like this game so much, but my background's with D&D. I really love D&D. So
yeah.
for me, it translates very well. I think it also helps people learn D&D as if you're a beginner to it, at least know the basics of rules and the turn base. So yeah.
It gets you
James can
excited for
agree
the
with
dice
you.
rolling.
Yes.
James agrees with you. He too wants to sleep with Spike.
I think it's
I don't get
why-
the
See, I
Spike
told
thing.
you, like
I
there is
never-
a type that I like, and
it's-
if you
So,
saying.
blonde hair.
I don't get it. Like,
I don't get
look,
it either.
James Marsters, Marsters?
Marston?
Yeah.
Marston? Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Spike
Marsters.
Marsters?
I don't know.
It's
No,
Marsters.
it's Marsters. Yeah, it's James
Okay.
Marsters. He was in Smallville too as Brainiac, and I thought he was incredible. Like,
didn't get
I
that
mean,
I thought that too. That was.
he was much better in. But anyway, I understand that Spike is like a very intriguing character, but I never understood the like women like falling over him. It just never made sense to me.
First crush growing up kind of deal. And I mean, if you look at my husband, he's completely opposite. My husband's a very burly bear compared to a very thin paled vampire. So yeah.
I would
Me,
probably
honestly,
lean
it's
much
the
more towards where
personality.
your husband is because I'm a
burly
large
bear.
man. I don't understand the skinny
I don't get
pale
it.
complex thing. Like,
For
I
me,
don't
it's the personality. I like if that personality is on like a big burly dude, I'm fine with it too. Like it's more the type, and I'm not necessarily into like bleach blonde dudes either. I actually like James Marsters with his natural hair color.
Because he's got a
Growing up,
British
I had-
accent, mate.
I had an obsession.
I mean,
with
the accent definitely helps. Come on.
I was a Draco fan growing up too.
Yes, I was too.
It's a Harry Potter
see that?
thing.
What? I don't
Oh,
get
don't bring
that.
up Harry Potter. My good buddy
The
Spartacus is here. And he's
misunderstood,
going to give me
like-
crap about it. What's up,
Oh,
Spartacus?
I love Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy was probably one of my
I
favorite
don't.
games last year to play. I'm
He's
glad I
always
was
been big.
unemployed to play it.
He keeps pestering me because I
Boring.
don't care about Harry Potter and I haven't even seen all the movies. Like, dude, you got to watch all the movies.
You'll be
There's
fine
something
without it.
No, you don't. The movies are terrible.
Don't watch
haven't-
the
I haven't
movies.
read. I've only read like maybe 1.5 books. I've seen one movie, or maybe 1 and
I was
3/4
Yeah, I
of a
got through
movie.
2.5 of the books, so at least I got that going for me.
1 through 4 are the only ones I care about for the books. Like the
As-
rest, I don't like.
As a huge Potter fan, I mean, I have half of Hogwarts tattooed on my back.
Mm.
I would recommend reading the books and then just waiting for the new TV show because the movies were cute at the time, but it only covers maybe 40-50% of what's in the books.
Like
That's
the
how that
4th
usually
movie
works,
is
yeah.
where I got hugely pissed off because of the things that they couldn't really put into it.
Mhm.
They should have made it a 2-part. If they're gonna do a 2-part, don't just make it book 7. Like book 4 was so
Yes.
it was done dirty.
Also, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to get mad at anybody over my background, blame Kenzo. He's in the chat. He says, "Let's go,
Yes, it
Chiefs.
is.
You're a monster."
What's up, Kenzo? Good to see
He
you,
made this
bro.
background, by the way. He did
So
this.
we have 2
It's
extra women in the
Kenzo's
chat
fault.
and on the
Yes.
panel. Cool.
Yes.
No,
It's
no.
Kenzo's
This
fault.
I steer into the meme. Whenever there's a meme
That's
about me,
not a
I
good
always like.
excuse. Nope.
It's a pretty good excuse.
Nope. You've been taken
And-
over.
And as
been
Spartacus said, yeah,
compromised.
it's Nerdy as Neo's Angels. Hello, Angels.
At least one of us
Professor
has
Savage
wings anyway.
That his crush was Tifa, which very understandable.
Yeah, I was a little bit later to the Final Fantasy, but that's a good one.
I respect that.
And
Tifa,
Psychotic Mongoose
No.
says that Tombi killed Astarion in his playthrough of Baldur's
Good
Gate.
boy.
So, all right, Amorata, I don't think you've had a chance to answer yet.
It's hard for me because I've never really crushed that way, I guess. I have played games and it's like, I want to romance this guy, but it's not like I'm thinking about them after I turn off the game or anything. But I decided I was going to pick two, and I'm going to see how many people know who these are. Legend of Dragoon, Dart.
Oh my god, I was debating between him and Joey. I love you.
That was I love that game so much. It was amazing. And then something that had a kind of similar battle style, but a different character, Yuri from Shadow Hearts.
I didn't play that.
Oh my god, that game is amazing. It's, again, I have this thing, I guess, for the Victorian steampunk kind of thing. And it's a game about spirits and everything. And, the guy rescues this girl, and there's I don't even know how to explain it. It's such a great game, though. I wish I could find it so I could play it again. The makers actually did a Kickstarter to do a game that's sort of a spiritual successor of that play style, because it had one of those rings where you kind of have to time to hit it. But the character himself, which is obviously what I'm supposed to be talking about instead of being on a tangent on the game itself, is a reasonably interesting character, maybe just a little whiny, as that kind of protagonist has a tendency to be, because it is more of a JRPG kind of thing. But he's still a great character. So that's what I got.
Cool. Did you say the other game was Nightingale that you're waiting for at the end?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because that sounded pretty interesting.
Oh,
I have a similar interest as you, my dear.
I'm so excited for that. I'm not even going to lie.
Have you played the Pinocchio Victorian?
I have not played that yet. It is on my list. The Lies of P. Yeah, that's on my list. I haven't played it yet, but I think it looks really interesting.
Same.
Mark was not planning on playing because he's a big Soulsborne type game guy, and people told him, like, dude, you should check it out, and it became his favorite game from last year. So
yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched anybody play it through just because it's one of those games I plan to play, but from what I've seen, what little I've seen and what little I've heard, I'm actually excited to get to it. But it's one of those things that it fluctuates through my list. But Nightingale is like huge priority because that comes out on the 20th. So,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to address Professor Savage Dad. I did have a penchant for black sheep.
I'm giggling so much.
I'm big
giggling in my head.
I'm big into dark fantasy and horror games, so that sounds kind of up my alley.
That's probably why I'm into that kind of stuff. And when you're talking about it, the Shadow Hearts game, it has a lot of that in it. And it was one of the first games that I played that really emphasized that kind of, I guess you could call it gothic horror kind
I gotta
thing.
bring up James's comment.
I know, I saw it.
Pinocchio was my first crush. That went away when I learned about the splitters.
Makes sense.
Ow.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and what's up, Real Wade Nation? Hello, bro. Good to see
Wayne.
you. All right, I think we'll move on to our next topic. Let's see here. So, more so going into games, we can talk about the games themselves now. I want to hear from each of you, what is your favorite genre of game? And not necessarily what your favorite game of all time is, but what is your favorite game of your favorite genre? So for me, anyone who knows probably knows my answer to both of these. My favorite genre are Metroidvanias. I'm a big enthusiast, and I'm an Xbox guy, and so there's leaderboards on True Achievements, and I'm number one in California, and I want to be number one globally at some point. But I love Metroidvanias. There's only a couple that I would not recommend. So there's not very many bad ones that I played. But my favorite Metroidvania of all time is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It is a phenomenal game, very well built. It's beautiful. The art style is amazing. The motion is so fluid.
The music's great.
The combat is great. The music is amazing. It's one of the, anytime video game music comes up, I always mention it because, especially for me, like I don't really pay attention to music and games that much. This was one of the few games I actually went outside the game and listened to the soundtrack itself. It's just gorgeous music. So I cannot say enough good things about Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Amazing game. So I want to hear from you guys what your favorite genre is and what your favorite game in your favorite genre is. So, Ryan, I think I know your answer, so let's see if I'm right.
Just get it out of the way now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always going to be an RPG. RPGs are my absolute favorite. They just I love putting in the long hours. I love the story. I love the character development, and it always goes back to Knights of the Old Republic. So, and he knew that.
Yep, I figured.
So,
Big man. That's a
I'll
good
say
choice.
an excellent one though that I'm looking forward to replaying very soon is actually Dragon Age Origins. It's another BioWare
Good one.
game. It's an incredible game. I love the story of that one too.
Okay, cool.
Had to shift it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, not everyone here is going to know the answer just because we stream together a lot. I figured I knew the answer, but not everyone else.
Yeah.
So let's go like in reverse. So Amorata, do you want to go first after?
Oh,
Ryan?
sure. Why not? I am also an RPG fan. I hate it when people ask me to pick my favorite of anything because it changes so often based on my mood. Since I'm thinking about it right now, and honestly, just because anytime my brain is working, Shadow Hearts is probably one of my favorite RPGs ever. Just because of the story. I mean, the story was really amazing. There was some really good jokes in it. It had that kind of how do I put this? It has just a really good tone to it overall. Other than that, I would also probably say I really like the Dragon Age series too. Origins was, of course, the best, but I don't get the hate that Inquisition gets. But I'm one of those people who can play for 100+ hours in a game. So
I think 2 got more hate than Inquisition did.
2 got a lot of hate, but I kind of understand that just because they really narrowed it down the way they did. But
I also
overall,
hated the way they changed the combat. It was really I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messaged a friend of mine for a future stream, and I asked him, like, hey, you're going to have to figure out some of your favorite games. He's like, I can't pick my favorite of my children. He sent me a response of a GIF like that. I'm like, I totally get it. So, yeah, it's like, pick your favorite your child. What's that? That
my favorite one's the one not misbehaving at this moment.
What's that? The term when you have is basically like picking between your children. It's a very tough choice.
Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's Choice. Thank you. That's
it was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I thought that had something to do with cancer and piano, though.
Children, basically. So
I think it was a girls' movie back from like the 90s or some shit.
Yeah. I never watched it.
Same.
But yeah, that's the concept I was thinking of. So thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Gal, what about you? What's your favorite genre and game in that genre?
JRPG specifically. Like I love RPGs in general, but JRPGs. And you're gonna hear this a lot from me today. So basically, Suikoden 2 and The Legend of Dragoon, they fight for the top for me. And it's very much like my mood. Like, which one is my favorite today? And when people post those, like, post a picture of your favorite video game or your video game character, generally you're going to see me post about both or either of those 2 games. They're definitely top notch. I love the story for both of them. And there's going to be an answer to a later question that has to do with one of them. And I can't get over it. And I highly recommend it to anybody who can even just tolerate RPGs. It is such a great story for Suikoden 2, Suikoden 1 as well. 2 will always have my heart if I have to pick between the 2 of them. And then The Legend of Dragoon, like, definitely, it's such a good story. It's amazing. I think it's 4 discs, and it's just it's so well balanced. And I can't find anything I dislike about either of those games. I just love them.
Nice. Yeah, I got a lot of RPG lovers today.
Yes.
It also tells you how old the game is. It still has discs.
Yep.
Keep your physical copies, people.
What platform is Suikoden 2?
PlayStation 1
Oh,
for the first one, and then PlayStation 2 for the second one.
Okay, so yeah, going back.
And then they think 3 was also on 2.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I actually have Suikoden 4. I don't have 5. I should try it out, but I heard that it was not at all what it used to be. Yeah.
Unsurprising. A lot of franchises have
But
that problem.
these 2 games are the ones that I'm dusting off my PS2 for. So,
yay!
Also because they're being remastered.
Oh.
I think at the end of the month or the beginning of March.
So an actual remaster, or do they
That's what I
call
was
it a
just about to
remake?
ask.
Remaster.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So you're safe.
Yep.
You think?
As long as they keep to the idea of a remaster.
So the people that made those games actually made like the Eiyuden Rising and are making Eiyuden Chronicles. I think Rising is the one that's out right now, and it's very similar. And I have it in my Steam right now for Rising. And I'm kind of excited because I just love the Suikoden so much that it's the same people that created it to where they were wanting to continue the story. So I'm super excited to play that too.
Nice.
I love nerding out. This is so much fun.
Yep. That's all I do here on my channel is nerd out about video game stuff. So, Nadia, what about you?
Oh man, I have two favorite genres that are pretty tied. RPGs being one, and the second one I like to call cozy games, what I play on my Switch. Okay. So for RPGs, I would probably have to say BioShock is.
Oh, it's really good.
One of my, especially the first one of my favorite games I can think
I've never
of.
Considered BioShock an RPG.
It's a first shooter RPG.
Mm-hmm.
They call it.
It's a combo, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also it's tied with Fables for me, but I would have to pick BioShock over it. And then for cozy games, I love Animal Crossing. I'm an Animal Crossing nerd. Love it.
When you mentioned House Flipper earlier, I was like, I wonder if she's an Animal Crossing fan as well.
Ooblets is another type of game.
I've heard of that one.
Cozy game. It's like a mix of Pokemon and Animal Crossing. It's pretty fun. But I like those type of games to play at nighttime when I'm winding down, just because they're relaxing to me. But if I had to pick something that I had to stay focused for, I like RPGs, and I'm looking forward to the next BioShock. If there's ever another one. But they're making, what's it called? Judas. That's the new game that's coming from that company.
Oh,
and
from that studio?
Yeah, and that looks really good. I'm very interested in that.
I gotta be honest, after BioShock 3, I don't know if they'll ever make another BioShock again, because that game,
think Ken Levine left
I know.
team.
That game would nowhere be ever allowed in this world. There's it's a lot of stuff in there that's like, holy crap.
All right. Kay, what about you?
What is this, an RPG panel? What's going on, big guy? I'm gonna go.
I didn't do RPG.
Well, I know you're gonna.
You don't count. You're the host.
Shooter guy, right?
I like RPGs though. My favorite franchise of all time is Mass Effect.
I'm shocked you didn't say like shooter. I get that you're the Metroidvania guy, but I'm shocked you didn't say shooter. I was like, he's gonna say Mass Effect 3. I'm gonna have to sit here and listen about how Mass Effect 3 is good, even though it's not. Whatever.
It is.
It's not.
It's a great game. The only problem was the ending. The fumble at the 1-yard line.
It's fine. We'll fight another day.
My
we'll fight
high
another
school
day.
football team did that.
RPGs, but I'm gonna go more specific JRPG. I like the little anime flavor to my game because I can go like Morrowind and KOTOR and stuff like that for RPG, like Western style. But JRPGs at the end of the day, Tales of Symphonia for me. I'm a big fan of Bandai Namco. I love Tales games like to death. They're amazing. Tales of Symphonia is about like an 80-hour game. I can live through it. It's a 2-disc game on the GameCube, which is a bit more rare on the GameCube, so super cool.
I don't remember having 2 discs.
What's that?
I don't remember ever seeing a GameCube game with 2 discs. So yeah.
PGA Tour, I think, also had 2 discs for some reason.
Like,
really random. Like
that's weird.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, Tales of Symphonia. It's like I said, 80-hour game, tons to live through. I just love the freedom of the open world. I love that little bit of anime quirkiness. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough about it. Combat feels great. Could play that forever. If I was on an island, I would play that game forever. I'd be happy.
Oh,
I remember.
That's one of my not today, but that's a future question for party chat.
There you go. Bring me back. I'll say the same thing.
I just added it to my Steam list because, like, when you
no,
said
no. GameCube only. GameCube only. They ruined every other version of this game. If you ever play Tales of Symphonia, do not play it unless it's on the GameCube. So I can give a very brief history. I could literally do like a 3-hour video on this, but I'll do a very brief history. It came out for the PS2 and it came out for the GameCube. PS2 is Japan only. It ran at 30 FPS, but it had 2 extra bosses and a bit of extra content, like extra dialogue. So that's considered like the definitive edition. The GameCube one was only in the West. I think they eventually made a Japanese version as well, but that version has less. So when they ported everything, they went to the PS3 verse. So the logical thing is you go from PS2 to PS3 rather than GameCube to PS3, right? The problem is that when they translated the game, Japanese characters take up less space than English characters. Therefore, all of the text box in the game cut off like conversation completely, and then the dialogue will cut itself off. Like think Sonic Adventure 2 where they're like yelling at each other and then it cuts them off mid-sentence. That happens. So now the PS2 version was ported to the PS3. The PS3 version was ported onwards to everything, every other modern console. So you can play it on Steam, but I'll be like this and I'll be twitching and I'll be mad. But if that's the only way you can, if it's the only way you can experience it, sure, but you're not getting a good version of the game. You're getting a broken mess. Like there's literally points in the game that just break because like it can't handle like deserts for some reason. So if you want the perfect
just found
version,
the emulated version.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go. But regardless, GameCube version. That's all. Thank you. That's my soapbox.
Dude was saying that a couple of the Resident Evil games on GameCube had multi-disc. So
yeah, that's true too.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So on to our next topic of the day. I wanted to talk about favorite female protagonists. So for me, the first one, as I said, Mass Effect's my favorite. Probably FemShep was one of them, but Shepard isn't canonically male or female, so I wanted to make that like an honorable mention. So going with my technically second or first, if that one doesn't count, being a big Metroidvania fan, no one would probably be surprised to hear me say Samus. Badass bounty hunter with cool tech and, you know, basically the godmother of my favorite genre, you know, Metroidvania. The other part comes from Castlevania. So Samus is awesome, and I didn't even think about this till I was looking through lists of characters last night. I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. So honorable shout out to Jessie from Control. Unfortunately, Hijabi's not here. She's a big fan of that game as well.
That's a good game.
But that was a great game. I played the Xbox One version. I have the Series X version, which I haven't played yet, but I'm very much looking forward to playing it again. So that was a great game. She was a cool character as well. So I want to hear what some of your favorite female protagonists are.
Myself. Really, honestly, I don't have a favorite female myself. Most of my games I play as characters I design. So I guess myself.
D&D.
Yes. Well, even Hogwarts Legacy, a lot of first, myself. That's my answer.
So when you design your characters, you make them after yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is Sophitia from Soul Calibur, Soul Edge.
Okay.
She was always my go-to whenever I played. I'm not the best at fighter games. I still love them. Like Bloody Roar and Soul Edge, like Soul Calibur, interchangeable. Those were my two favorites of that genre. And Sophitia was just she was always my girl, and I'm gonna cosplay her eventually.
Nice. Cool. Okay. And yeah, James came in with another popular one, Bayonetta.
Yeah.
That's a very good
for obvious
answer.
reasons.
Yeah. If Mark was here, that might be one of his answers, would be my guess. He's got a big poster of her behind him. So who's next?
Okay,
I'll just say Lara Croft.
Yes, Lara Croft is a good one. Everyone stop stealing my answers.
Stop having the same answers as everybody else.
Right? You got this whole panel and we're all just like RPGs.
Yeah.
Lara Croft is a really good one though. That's what I think Ryan and I will get along because Bastila is also a really good one, and I know that he probably likes Bastila too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a cop-out answer. Are you ready for this? I love Jennifer Hale.
Yes, that's a good answer. Not really character, but she's awesome.
It's literally every single character I thought of. I racked my brain on this for so long. I'm like, oh, that's played by Jennifer Hale. Like even like in Symphonia, the game I just went autistic over. Sheena, who's my favorite character in there, voiced by Jennifer Hale. It's like she's literally everywhere. If there's a female character, it's Jennifer Hale. So that would have been my number one answer. But the other one is
answer.
I haven't beat them, but Bayonetta probably would be just on the premise of everything she embodies. I think she's like a really good female protagonist, but it's Jennifer Hale.
Okay. Yeah, that a bit of a cop out, but I will allow it because Jennifer Hale is awesome. Yes.
Exactly. There you go. And she's femshep.
Yeah, femshep. Yeah, that's where I really learned who she was, and then I started like looking into her like IMDb, and I'm like, oh my god, she's like the female Mark Hamill. She's in literally everything for voice acting.
What the
Literally
heck is
everything.
Female Shepherd
Yes.
From Mass Effect.
from Mass Effect.
Wait, Jennifer Hale's also Bayonetta in the third game.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, in Bayonetta 3 because they changed up the voice actor. I remember there was a whole
there was a whole dust
legal-
up about that.
Yeah, because I don't know the details, but something about the original actor was mad that she didn't get paid.
She
as
wanted
much as
more
should
money
have.
for it, and she wanted like $25,000 for the entire thing. Or no, they offered her $25,000 for the entire thing, and she was upset because she wanted more royalties or something like that. And so she went on a huge campaign. But when people went back and looked at it, it was like, you're getting more than average for the average voice actor. So why are you putting up such a stink?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so they recast her instead of paying the
More.
extra money that she was requesting. So yeah, I haven't played it because that is a Nintendo exclusive, which it seems odd that Bayonetta would have gone Nintendo exclusive because they're more of the family-friendly brand. But yeah, once I get a Switch, I'll probably play Bayonetta 2 and 3 at some point because I have played the first one a couple times. It's a good game. All right. Did we get everyone? Or Amorata?
no, I didn't say anything.
I don't
I
think
have a
so.
tendency to sit there quietly and hope people forget about me, because a lot of
Which
these things
almost
it's like,
happened.
I don't really have an answer. But I would have to go with the Grey Warden in Dragon
in
Age Origins.
Dragon Age. Okay.
Because that's, I guess I'm kind of like Nadia. It's kind of a me thing. I don't necessarily make the character me as much as it's my character. So I like the character that I'm controlling. And when it comes to a game like that, of course, I'm going to make it female because I'm just happier that I have no interest in playing a guy in a game where I can create my own character to be specific. I don't mind it in other games where the character's a guy, but that's a different thing. The other answer I would have to say is probably because I am old and nerdy is Aerith from Final Fantasy VII.
No, horror! I
I-
had so much respect for you.
I think I saw a dude mention that earlier as his favorite.
I can't.
She's
stand
a good character.
She's a terrible character.
What's your gripe with Aerith? What's going
I
on,
do
bro?
not like characters like her.
Fight.
The only reason that she is traveling with them is because of Zach and the connection there. And she is just such a simp. I don't like simp female characters. I hate
She was an
Orihime-
excellent healer.
Orihime from Bleach. I don't like Sakura from Fate Stay Night. Those are the type of characters that I can't stand because they're basically she's good at healing and nothing else. And she's too whiny for my liking. She's a follower. She doesn't really have a story of her own that has any interest whatsoever for me.
This is so
Except for the
interesting
part where
'cause
she dies.
I compare Aerith more to
I'm so
Yuna.
happy when she
Like, I
dies.
think Aerith is more a Yuna character than like
Mhm.
a just kind of throwaway. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yep. Mm.
Okay, correction. It was dude's first video game crush,
Oh.
not favorite. His first. So thank you, dude.
Noted.
Where it is? Oh, James said that his KOTOR, Injustice, and Brutal Legend all are signed by Jennifer Hale. That's awesome.
They're behind me somewhere, but I'm too lazy to grab them right now.
That's awesome. I would love to get that signed. So,
Oh,
all
crap.
right.
There's another one, but I can't remember her name all of a sudden. I hate it when my brain just. Let me look it up real quick because I can
Okay.
get that in just a brief second. Tag.
I also didn't lose respect for you. by
I
the
don't
way.
care. We're fine. I mean, I not that I don't care, but I understand,
Can
and
you
I'm
lose
not
respect
hurt.
for someone you don't have respect for in the first place.
Well, yeah. It's a valid point.
And now I can't spell protagonists. Fuck. There we go. That's a good word. Sorry, I did not mean to curse. It's just one of those words that are always there in my head.
It's so handy to have, just right
Right?
out of the hat.
It's that word that's right there,
Yes.
and it's always
It
there.
expresses
And
everything.
Like they say in Boondock Saints, that
is.
really expresses the diversity of the word.
that
Great movie.
Ashley Winchester from Wild Arms 2.
Okay.
Oh, that one.
I
It's a good
heard
one.
of that game.
That one you can actually you can play it free on PlayStation 5. The Wild Arms games are really good games. I highly recommend playing them.
Okay.
Except for the more recent ones. It's just like that one and Shining Force are also really good games, except for the most recent one. Don't play that one. Shining Force Neo. That one sucked. So
what do you got against me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Look, it's not my fault you made a terrible game.
Also, I was actually just surprised to hear that there's actually games on PlayStation 5.
Well, this is an
very
old game
soon, there's-
that you
Oh,
can stream.
so that makes sense then, yeah. They
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
have to make new games for
Right.
PlayStation 5.
Exactly.
I mean,
It's
Are
one
they
that you
making
can
any
get.
games for the new consoles? Like anything? Like at this point?
Stellar Blade's coming up for PS5.
Yeah, there's that. And she's got a really nice ass.
Yeah.
I feel like the new generation consoles are like just like dead. Like people are like going crazy buying them, and then all of a sudden it's like nothing.
Yeah.
I don't hear
mean,
people talking about it like, oh, I can't wait to play this on PS5 or on Series X or whatever the hell the new one's called. Like it just nobody seems to care. I hear everybody talk about, oh, I can't wait to get this on Steam, and it's like it's kind of.
I mean, the sad thing is I have both of them sitting here next to my computer, and they're both basically just paperweights.
Yeah.
They're collecting dust.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, if they wouldn't price it so much and then make it not incompatible with the older games, like because
That's a big
PlayStation
one,
2,
yeah.
like PS2, PS3, you could play PS2 games.
Yep.
PS2, you could play PS. Like,
Well, the
So-
PlayStation 3 I had, you could play both. So
Mhm.
I had the full backwards compatible one.
I'll have to check what my brother's is because if that is the case, then that'll be.
I had the original backwards compatible was like 60 gig. Then they made an 80 gig. Then they made like a 40 gig. And I've always had the 80 gig. And it's
Okay.
usually one of the harder ones to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's when they did away with backwards compatibility with the 4, I was super pissed off. I was
Yeah.
I
like,
think most people were.
I'm just
like,
glad
I'm
I
not-
kept my PS2. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that I do give Microsoft credit for because the Series X can play original Xbox games. Not all of them, but a lot of them, the big ones, and everything that they've made a huge backward compatibility list for the Xbox 360 games as well. So that is one thing that usually
just has
shines
better
in their
games.
favor.
That's my whole thing. Like,
I think PlayStation has some of the better games when it comes to like action adventure. One reason that I bought my PlayStation 3 when it first came out was the Uncharted series. Massive fan of that. The movie doesn't count. That thing was a piece of crap.
we don't
Screw
talk
Tom
about
Holland.
that.
He sucks.
Not that I played the games.
Look, I think Tom Holland's a nice guy, but he doesn't need to be in everything. All right, so let's
Mhm.
just can we stop, please?
And how can you not put Nathan Fillion in it? Like, give me a break.
Ding 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 ding.
Are you
I-
kidding me?
I heard that there was an Uncharted fan film with him, and it was really good.
It was, and it was incredible.
Yep. Because he's incredible, by the way.
It was incredible. And then
I
I
cannot stand Nathan Fillion. I'm sorry. I am
Why?
I
get her out, kick her.
Like, oh my god, I love him, especially. So when I went to get his autograph,
I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I'm rolling my eyes at the
I know.
thought of Nathan Fillion.
I knew that. It's just like I have mad respect for celebrities that take the time to not just make it an assembly line when they're doing their autographs at cons and stuff. And Nathan Fillion is phenomenal. Like, I was
Says arrest her.
I'm sorry. I understand.
Arrest Nadia.
I don't get the Firefly thing. I don't get it.
My entire car is themed after Firefly.
The
I
only
find him-
actually new show on television I actually like is The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
And did you watch
find him
Castle?
insufferable. I find him
haven't
insufferable.
watched
I'm
Castle yet, no.
sorry.
So Castle, when he's putting on gloves at a crime scene, blue gloves, he does this, the 2x2 from Firefly reference. And then there's one time for like a Halloween episode, he like comes out of his room in like a space cowboy outfit, and it was his Captain Mal outfit. I love him because
I feel like your uterus is skipping a beat or something. I don't know.
yes,
I'm not
I
sure.
love him, and it was an injustice that he was not in Uncharted.
Well, the Uncharted fan film that was on YouTube had such massive praise and went freaking viral that there were actually talks from Sony because the guy who actually directed it is an actual director who's
Mhm.
actually directed movies and television, and then it just fell flat. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Tom Holland Uncharted movie, and it's like, So you weren't like what? Yeah, it was nonsensical, but whatever. The
We got
character's based off of Nathan Fillion. That's just the way it is. So
He voice acted it.
hello, hail, funny pump. Good to see you. I've not seen you before, so welcome.
Hello.
All right. I think we got everyone. Yes. So we're gonna move on to our next topic, and I think this was the question that Gal was referring to earlier. I'm going to be talking about the saddest deaths in video games. Is that what you were referring to earlier when you said you had an answer for a future question? So I had a couple. The first one that popped into my mind, because it gets mentioned on a lot of videos when this topic comes up, was Lee at the beginning or at the end of season 1 of the Walking Dead Telltale game. But I was actually thinking, I thought
thanks for
that
the
was
spoiler, dude. I haven't played that
Sorry.
yet. It's on my Steam.
Spoilers
funny,
for
like,
this one.
When you put
I
that
say this
question
whole
in there,
question
like,
is spoilers.
Yeah.
That is very true. It is.
I don't have a thing, but
Yeah,
I pop up
doesn't bother
major
me. I'm just
spoilers
messing with you.
ahead.
Yeah,
So-
I do want to play that I do have those because they made them episodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those on my Steam. I need to play those one day. I
They're
might have to wait.
basically, the Telltale games are basically playable movies. There's very little gameplay to them, but they're pretty much very well written. And it's, you make your decisions and then the story plays out and stuff happens. At the end, spoilers alert, at the end of season 1, the main character Lee dies. Sorry.
God damn it, man. What'd you say about
But
died?
But I was actually thinking what I thought was even sadder, and I didn't pop into my head until I was thinking about this last night, was earlier. I think it was like in episode 2 or so. There's a father, a mother, and a son. He's probably like 8 or 9, and the kid gets bitten, and so they're trying to, it's still at the beginning of the outbreak, so they don't really know like the rules of how everything works. So they're trying to figure out how to save him. Obviously they can't because the kid got bit. So he's getting worse and worse. So they know they gotta put him down. And the mom says, I'll do it. So the mom and the kid go off into the woods and you hear a gunshot. And then the dad goes and checks it out. The mom couldn't do it, and she ended herself and didn't kill the son. And then the dad has to kill the son, and he lost his son and his wife at the same time. And that nearly broke me. I was like, that was, so I thought, when I thought that last time, like, that was far worse. So sorry for spoilers for Walking Dead, but that I think I've cried like twice in my adult life from the passing of people in my life. And I was almost came to the point of tears during that scene. So that was my answer. I had a couple others, but I think that one kind of takes the cake for me. So I think Gal's got an answer ready to go. So let's hear what you got.
So spoilers ahead for The Legend of Dragoon.
Nah.
Lavitz?
Who was that?
What did you
Who
say?
was that? Someone just yelled from the background, Dumbledore dies.
That's her brother, and he's hysterical. He screams with her while she's on stream all the time.
He molded me in his image when we were kids.
Oh,
so
that was hilarious.
It's kind of
Thank
gay,
you.
dude.
Yeah, Lavitz's death in The Legend of Dragoon is, I get emotional every single time I play it. I can't, and I want to do another replay. And it's so self-sacrificing, and his character is amazing, and his backstory and everything. And he's best friends with Dart, and when Dart is basically holding him in his arms, and he just screams out, Lavitz! It's the only GIF of The Legend of Dragoon that is on Twitter, and it breaks my heart just watching the goddamn GIF. Sorry, the GIF. It gets me every single time. Lavitz is, he's great.
That's kind of gay, dude. You're still not saying it. You know what you need to say.
It's not gay, dude.
All right, Mr.
Girl.
Antagonist. What do you got, Ryan?
Mine is actually Commander Shepard at the end of Mass Effect 3.
Okay.
That one was like, you know what? Because the whole series, you have the hope that like they can actually beat him. They can actually beat him, and for some reason he keeps beating the odds. And then at the end, Depending on what we, and obviously we all know the controversies behind it, but it, it seems like the character is honestly destined to die. That's why I disagree with the renegade ending. I don't think he's meant to live.
Okay. Yeah,
because it just honestly makes sense, because the man who sacrificed everything and overcome all the odds to make the final sacrifice to end it all and actually save pretty much the whole entire galaxy. It makes sense.
Yeah.
No, James, that is not the correct doctrine. You are very incorrect.
One of my other
Mass Effect is a tragedy, and it's been written as a tragedy the whole time.
One of my other answers was for Mass Effect 3, but it was Morden's. And
that was tough. That was tough.
And it was even worse if you're doing a Renegade. That was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, because I was like, I'm going full Renegade, but that was really, really difficult to go full Renegade at that point in the game.
You're not indoctrinated. You're the one who's indoctrinated with that answer. That's like arguing people saying the fact that they're like, after watching How I Met Your Mother, I can't believe the mother died. You didn't see that from moment one, the way they were telling the story. If you didn't see that, go back and replay it.
Yeah,
go back and rewatch it, and start paying attention to the markers. They're leading to a tragedy. They're not leading to him out. They're leading to them winning, but not him living.
Yeah.
You can only cheat death once.
Unless you're a cat.
I like James' passion, though. I'm sure him and I could probably go for like an hour about this. But I won't let it take over the stream.
I think both times that he's been on Party Chat, you weren't able to make those ones. So
probably not. No, I've been on another stream with him. He was on Star Trek Engage, which was awesome to have him. But no, I completely understand where he's coming from. Like, I mean, I was a part of the whole controversy because I played the game when it first came out, right? And everybody's like, oh. It's like, I mean, I get it.
We got Christian Fandom Geek hopping in saying hello there. Hello, Christian Fandom Geek. Good to see you. It's been a little while. All right. Amorata, what do you got?
Nothing.
I'm with you, Amorata. Nothing. We must be the psychopaths on the panel, because I have had characters died, but I don't.
Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's one or two like in the moment I got emotional about it. It's like, oh, that was sad. This is terrible. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, okay, back to killing things. Oh, cool, I can kill this guy, and then it's over.
Well, I think kind of like end game deaths are what's more powerful, right? You have like an overarching story. You lose characters in the meantime, and that's kind of like, it's a little sad, but it's not meant to be like, kind of like where you're just like, well, that sucks, man. Like, I really like that character, but you move on with your day, you move on with the mission. So.
Well, it's like I'm sitting here and Neo mentioned a game, and it's like, I know it had a really sad part, and I'm like, well, I know he's going to ask this question, so I'm going to try to reserve it for answering this question, because I don't actually have an answer. And then I'm sitting here and he asks me, he's like, shit, I can't remember what game he was talking about, so I'm just going to have to be honest. I don't have an answer.
So, Nadia, you don't have much to say either?
If I can play the villain, I will play the villain, so I don't care about characters' deaths, because I will go in there and just pew 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 everybody left and right if I can.
I can't play a villain.
So I'm just wired differently. So
I mean, I have problems playing the villain, but at the same time, when a character dies, I know that when I reboot the game, the character is going to come back.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to get particularly hardly emotional. It's like, I can name deaths out of books that have touched me, but again, I can restart the book and the character's alive at the beginning of the book, and then they're dead by the end of the book, but they're not real.
I don't know. Sirius Black, man, that really got me.
Yeah,
that might actually be my weird quirk, is that I can't play a bad guy. I can't kill the innocent characters in game, even
it's because you're a bad guy in real life.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Watch me. I plan on replaying Hogwarts Legacy starting next week, and I'm just from day one Dark Wizard. Day one.
See, I'll do some renegade stuff if it helps further the mission in an easier way, but I won't go out of my way. So like even in Knights of the Old Republic, there are characters you can just flat out kill just to kill them. And they're innocent characters. And I can't do it. I never picked that option.
James is exactly the opposite.
I can play only villains.
I can do that.
You have the soul of a bridge troll, sir.
Sparkus has a couple of good answers. Yeah, also agreeing with me, Morden and Thane's death in Mass Effect, but also Aunt May from Spider-Man. I've seen that on a number of lists being a tough one.
Never played any of the Spider-Man
I saw
games.
my husband play that game. Nope. I don't care.
I don't have a massive desire to play Spider-Man games. I don't understand why.
He liked the first one. Oh, the one that came out a couple years back. He absolutely adored that one. I thought it was
that was
really
a pretty
good.
popular game.
Yeah.
So I think Kay, you haven't answered yet.
I almost don't want to answer because the games that I thought of, I'm like, I want people to experience this for the first time. That for me, I have the opposite of what the other two said about like deaths in games not meaning anything. Video games to me are like the number one medium I like storytelling in. So the fact that you have interaction with it, it feels more visceral and real to me than like a book or a movie or anything. Because you're actually involved sometimes.
You're making the movie.
Things that end up at that point. So for me, video games are actually a pretty big deal with death. I really don't want to spoil. Okay, well, Morden is one that came to mind because we've already said that. That is one that was like super depressing for me.
Especially on Renegade.
Cover your ears if you don't want to know any video game deaths ever if you're watching.
Yeah, I guess just name the game first, and like it's
that's why I did what I did.
Yeah.
Like so for me, if I've never heard of it and I have no desire to play it, it's not going to bother me. But if it's on my list, then I'll be like going, oh yeah, I'll take my headphones off.
I'll name it, but
if you don't want spoilers, I will be putting timestamps in the video so you can jump to the next question.
Me even saying the name of this game is a spoiler. But for me, the deaths that are like the most impactful are the ones that kind of disarm you and you don't expect at all. And so out of all games, not even like a favorite game of mine, but Brothers was the one that
was on my list.
That was the one that I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Sorry, what the hell?
I love it. All the ladies have potty mouth. It's great. I
swear all the time on my channel. I really try not to hear.
Oh, I swear like a sailor. It's bad.
Well, and you've strained with me enough, Ryan. You know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Neo. It's fine. YouTube only pays attention for the first 7 minutes, and then they don't care.
And we were good for that time, kind of. Was I?
No, you said shit right out the gate.
Yeah.
See, and that one is such a. I don't even remember saying it.
It's usually the F word right out the gate is what gets you flagged. In
I was just glad it wasn't me that cursed first. So
yeah, well, I didn't even know I did. So
we're talking about death here.
What is Brothers about?
I remember
Brothers was on my list of games to mention, but it's a puzzle game, and you play these two brothers where you control each one with each joystick, and you have to use them because one is bigger and one is smaller. So you like the smaller one you have to use to get through smaller areas, and the bigger one you may have to use it to weigh down heavier things to solve puzzles and stuff. So it's a really great game, and it's not very long. It's probably like a 3 or 4 hour game, so it's pretty short. I definitely recommend a playthrough. And yeah, that one had.
I hate games like that.
Is it like It Takes Two, similar to that?
It's the same developer.
Same people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a death that made me emotional. That might seem weird.
Okay.
If you've ever played Little Nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah, the end of that one.
Yeah.
And Little Nightmares 2, that one was good too.
Yeah.
I haven't played 2 yet, but I did play the last level of Little Nightmares on stream back in December.
Nice.
See that kind of sound. Little Nightmares sounds kind of like an advanced form of the Brothers game. Like I know I watch people play that game, and I just never got the hype. I was like, it just doesn't seem like, because you have to do like use one character to try to help you to like get a pulley system to get this next. I can't stand that stuff. Like it drives me up the wall. It's like doing my taxes.
I haven't seen a lot of games with that concept, but the couple that I have played, I have liked.
Yeah, I like those games. I like playing them with Chris, though. Yeah,
they're great in co-op if you have 2 people.
Yeah.
Another one.
I like puzzle games like in Silent Hill. Like those ones I like.
Go ahead.
If you do like if anyone is out there and likes the controlling one character with each of the joysticks and likes puzzle games, another one out there is called Morkred. It's Morkedd, and it's all about light and dark, and you can't go in. You're like shadow people, but if you have to stay in the light. If you go in the shadow, you die. So you have to like move lights around and you control each one with a thumbstick. So if you like that type of game, I'd recommend checking out Morkred.
Who's spoiling Red Dead Redemption in the chat that I just picked up to play and now just spoiled it?
I don't know because I wasn't looking at the chat. So,
nobody. That doesn't exist.
I often see those games on lists of this type of topic as well.
Yeah, I picked up the query and
look. I'm glad you said something. that was a little bit of a spoiler. Trust me, play the game, because the end of the game is going to that would have been a good one to say. I'm glad I actually didn't say it, since you've
That
never
was
played
on
it.
my
So-
list too, but another one that I just didn't want to say.
The
bought
end of that
2.
game is fucking incredible. I mean, incredible.
Are we talking about 2?
2.
Yeah, okay, that's the one I bought.
Yeah.
Vex told me I don't have to play 1 to really get into 2 to understand.
No, but
okay.
You should also play 1 though.
I would play 1 afterwards. Play 2 first, because 2 is just
2 is a prequel.
It's a beautiful masterpiece.
I got another one, and I don't know how many people have played it. Scorn. The end of that one, you don't see coming in the way they set it up. It just gutted me, because it's, oh my God. You play it is, I don't know if anybody here has played it.
I've not played it. I did not hear a lot of good stuff about it. Scorn.
That's
but it
because
was very
people
H.R.
who
Geiger inspired, so that would make sense coming from
a lot of people misunderstood what kind of game it was supposed to be. A lot of people thought it was supposed to be a shooter kind of game, and no, it's a puzzle game. You're not supposed to be engaging a lot of battles. There's like 1 or 2 where you're actually supposed to fight, 1 or 2 spots where you're actually supposed to fight, but most of it's puzzling how you get through this area without getting yourself killed. So when you get to the end and it ends the way it does, and you're just, because you're so close to what looks like the light, and this thing comes out of nowhere, and just, oh my God, I was so both angry and moved at the time. It was, oh wow.
I know what game you're talking about. It's kind of a morbid game.
Yeah,
it's a very morbid game. It's a
very morbid game.
Biomechanical, H.R. Geiger, fleshy, creepy. It was a great game.
Humanoid looking,
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah,
it's got some really like kind of like saddening moments when you see some of the characters around you, but ultimately, I didn't. The game ended very weird in my opinion, but that's probably just me. But no, I do understand that. Like, I see the point they're trying to make, but I felt like the ending was just a bit off.
Oh, you see, I thought the ending was for that dystopian feeling that they had with the way everything was ran down and everything that you encounter up to that point. I thought the ending was perfect.
And Scorn is on Game Pass, and it's a fairly short game as well.
It's a pretty short game. And like I
6
said,
hours ish.
Yeah,
5.
Yeah,
like
depends on how much exploration you really get into.
Inspired by H.R.
Geiger. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I could see the art reflecting it. Yeah.
I've not heard a lot of good stuff about it, so I kind of never considered it.
I don't think it's a bad game in any way, shape,
and I
or
love
form.
puzzle stuff, so coming at it from that angle, I actually might end up enjoying it. So that might put that on the playlist.
I think the playthrough of the story is again interacting with some of the characters around you that you have to do to progress the game to get through it is probably the worst part. And not in the sense of bad, as in it's kind of heart wrenching. You feel so bad for these beings, whatever they may be.
You do.
Yeah, kind of, because they're very simple. Well, not the ones that you're fighting against, but the ones you have to do stuff to advance the game.
I guess I just didn't really feel bad.
They just seem so simple-ish.
I mean, that's their point, though. They've been manufactured in this world specifically. I mean, it's no different from killing a cow to eat it. So,
I kind of more equated of going to a home where there's mentally disabled and sacrificing them. Actually,
well, but that's way different because those mentally disabled people weren't manufactured for that purpose.
True. I mean, but I think that's also kind of part of the game is like, do these things have souls? Or are they just a manufactured recreation?
But that's why the ending, in my opinion, is so poignant. Is that are you just another cog in that machine, or were you actually reaching towards
rewatch the ending? And
because it's like you're getting ready to ascend, because especially when you look at the art around the ending there, you see so much that really is about ascension. And moving on to this new form, and to have that ripped from you at the very last moment, like literally steps before you get through that, is just so, I mean, it really grips you, and if you're that kind of person.
I'm looking at it right now. This artwork's really beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And when you're in the game and the atmospheric effects, it is beautiful. I love that game so much.
I might have to pick this up.
The environment's kind of a creepy, grotesque. You kind of feel just dirty being in it,
Love it.
Yes,
That's my kind of jam.
Okay, yeah, I might.
Yeah,
have
I'll be interested to see what Nadia thinks
backlog.
about while she's playing through it about the simple creatures that are kind of surrounding you in the ending. Since because, like I said, it came out in 2018.
No, it came out. Was it?
more.
Because my first playthrough it was on
21?
Rumble, so I think it was either.
Oh, it's 22 October.
It's
over
for
a year ago.
PlayStation 5, so I'll be able to play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was older than that.
No, it just recently came out.
You would think so by the cover. It gives that kind of old retro video game vibe.
It just feels like
to it.
2022 was that long ago. I don't know.
That too.
Yeah.
And as I get older, I'm bad with dates. I'm just like it's like it feels like 2021 was like forever ago, and it really wasn't.
Well, and
Yeah.
COVID kind of
feel
like
like it.
screwed it all up. Like
I think that's
4
part
years
of it.
ago.
I think
4
it kind of
years
screwed
ago.
everybody's brain time frame up, like sense of time, because
It's
it felt like
weird.
it took forever to get through all that. Like those 4 years feel like a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So.
it's very different than time has usually moved.
Yeah, so that's probably why. Well, no, yeah, but no, I have to go back and rewatch the ending and try to see if maybe I get a different interpretation, because I think it's also one of those games too that if you play it again, you might actually get something different. Because a lot of the games I've played before, like I'll go back and play it again, and I've played it 10 times, but all of a sudden on the 11th time I pick up something I never realized before.
That's why I love replaying.
And that's why I think people had problems. A big problem with it was people went into this thinking it was going to be some kind of gruesome Halo-esque shooter. And that's not what it is. So if you go into it looking at that, as opposed to looking at the fact that the environment, the art, everything, there is no actual, there's very little express story. The story is told environmentally.
It is, yeah. And I think that's probably. I think that's it. Actually, it's one of its best points. Is the environmental storytelling is really powerful.
So as you go through, if you're looking around, you can really see the story of the area, of what happened, and where you are in the story, and what that means in regards to everything. And it's one of those games you have to pay attention to really get. And I think that might be part of the problem, is so much gaming anymore is more tell as opposed to show. And this game is all show.
Yeah, you literally you just wake up in this world and it tells you nothing. You have to hunt around and search to figure how to move forward.
So definitely, but that ending, your own death in that, I should say, kind of is worth the watch.
I don't know if Chris is still watching, but maybe I'll sneak and purchase it so I can play. Yeah, I already bought 3 games when PS5 had that huge sale for Christmas, and I haven't touched them yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, switching gears to our last topic for today, and a much brighter note. So I thought it'd be a fun thought experiment. I don't know what you want to call it, but a fun topic would be if you could take any male protagonist and female or not even protagonist, just any male character and female character, and team them up for a game together. Who would you want to put together, and maybe like what type of game would it be? So I had a couple of ideas. The first thing that came to mind was I thought Samus and Boba Fett both being awesome bounty hunters, and some sort of like team up bounty hunter game would be pretty cool. But then I haven't seen this as a question before, but I've seen like lots of fan art and stuff of kind of pairing them together. So something that I came up that I thought would also be cool, and I had never seen this pairing before, would be FemShep and Master Chief would make a really awesome duo. So I'd love to see some sort of shooter with them together. I thought that'd be really cool. So, Kay, did I see one of your answers again?
Yes, you did.
But you do like raid her hard.
That was my answer.
Did you do like raid her hard drive before this?
Aren't you supposed to argue and shit? What is this?
This is me getting back at her for all the time she's picked fights with me. I'm stealing all her answers without knowing it.
How about this? Female shepherd technically shouldn't exist, so that's null and void. Let me just make both of you mad.
Hey, it's all fantasy. It's all good. That would be my answer. So I'm going to abstain from answering this question because you literally, it's perfect.
FemShep and Master Chief.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a really good duo. I'd love to play a game with the two of them together. So sorry for stealing your answer again.
No, I'm glad we finally agree on something. It's that
We
hating
do.
Harry Potter. Perfect.
Poor Nadia.
Spartacus is calling you out, dude. Says Kay has so many great ideas that everyone has to steal them.
Yep.
I mean, it's a rough pairing in my opinion, but just because there hasn't been a good game for one of them, but Lara Croft and Indiana Jones could make it interesting.
Yeah,
I think that would be a cool one.
That'd be cool.
Good answer. I did think about Lara Croft as one of them, but that is not who I paired her up with in a potential game. But yeah, Indiana Jones and Lara Croft, that would make a great duo.
I couldn't think of anybody for this. All I could think of, if we took Tom Nook from Animal Crossing and just put it into any other RPG games, they could balance the party's gold better. Have an accountant on standby. So that's my answer.
I've never played Animal Crossing, so I hate to say it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a raccoon that you owe a lot of money to. He's
all the
that
time.
guy.
All the
He's
time.
constantly putting you in debt.
Yes, he's the bank.
He's worse than the government.
Yes.
Spartacus.
Oh, you paid off your date? Or you paid off your debt? Oh, here's another debt.
Your debt. Yep,
Why don't you take out another loan?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, James says, yeah, because they both came out on almost the same day, Isabelle and Doom Guy. Although, because that was the thing, because Doom Eternal and the Animal Crossing came out like right at the beginning of COVID, like almost on the same day. But for me,
like March 20th or something like that.
Oh man, it feels like forever.
For me, it was Doom Eternal, and the other game I mentioned earlier, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, came out a few days apart, and those were both, in my opinion, fantastic games. So I loved
that. Was the death that I was going to talk about? Damn it! Okay,
go for it.
I can't remember everything now. I'm getting old. My brain is full of my brain is like Swiss cheese.
You got James's goldfish memory.
There was that end of the. I mean, you played the game enough, I'm sure. The end of that game, Ori. I mean,
yep.
And I don't know this.
The first one or the second one?
The second one is the one I was thinking of, because that one literally made me cry. I'm not even lying. I was a mess of tears at the end.
They both had hard deaths, but the second one, got me too. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and because I want everyone to play that game. I'm with Kay. Like, I don't really want to spoil it on what the death is. So
those are absolutely, in terms of the gameplay, the music, the setting, and everything, they are really good games. So I definitely recommend playing them.
Yeah, and what Ryan was saying about Spartacus, although, which one is the woman in this situation? Because they're pairing up a man and a woman together.
I actually,
but yeah, that would be a cool duo for a game.
I actually kind of wanted to piggyback off of that a little bit. This isn't my official answer, but I think Nathan Drake and Lara Croft would be very interesting too, because at least the newer Tomb Raider games have a kind of a similar play style as the Uncharted games in some ways. So I think that would have been kind of cool. The new Tomb Raider games, I think, are good. They're not fantastic. They don't fit as well as, in my opinion, as the old ones, but I still think that'd be cool. But my answer is literally the original rivalry, Mario and Sonic.
Which one's the woman?
Yeah.
There was a woman.
Well, the question is, pair up a male and female.
Yes.
Nah, I'm modifying the question. No.
He
Females
just hates
don't have to
women
be
that
in
much.
everything. Gosh.
They were in what, Mario and Sonic Olympics or game? There was some sort of like sports game that they did together. I know that.
You know, I actually think it'd probably be kind of interesting. What if we like had Zelda and Mario, or like crossover of like, you know, maybe Peach and Sonic or something? Just that'd be a crazy game too. I would love to see a crossover between Nintendo and Sega, but I don't think we will ever get it.
Maybe a game where Sonic and Peach are teamed up, and then Mario and
Zelda.
I guess. Zelda. I was thinking, trying to keep the franchise together. I think was Rosie. Is that like the main, or Rose? Amy Rose is what James said earlier. I'm pretty sure that's like the main female character from the Sonic franchise.
Yeah, it's
is
the
that
main
right?
female character. So he said Amy Rose and me as a pairing. But we have Smash, like James is saying in chat. That to me, that's like the ultimate, like That's the crossover.
Yeah.
But
what if you did? Sorry.
No,
I
I was
thought
just
you
gonna
stopped
say
for a second.
to piggyback off your idea, Ryan, like a really cool like Sonic and Mario concept could be like almost a Sonic Generations where you're like switching 2D, 3D type concept, but like you have one of the characters going in one plane and the other going in the other. I could see that working.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Also, kind of to lean into your thing, dude. What if like Samus and Master Chief? That would be interesting.
Yeah,
It'd be a very interesting pair, especially because they blast. You know, I mean, obviously one's a bounty hunter, but they're,
that's dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why he's referencing dudes. That's his avatar is Samus and Master Chief.
Oh, is it? I didn't realize that.
You didn't notice that? I thought that's why you said dude, because that's his avatar.
No. I just said dude in general because I say dude because I was born in I was raised in the 90s. Like nobody says dude anymore unless you're raised in the 90s.
I was raised in the 90s.
Okay, just call me out then.
Well, I was born in 85, but I was, technically I was kind of, I got my pop culture legs, I guess, to like late 80s, really early 90s.
I was born in
Dude's
82,
laughing at me.
Trust me, I know.
All right. Nadia and Gal, I don't think we've heard from you, or did we?
I didn't really have an answer to this. So,
Okay.
this was the only question.
I said put Tom Nook and everything.
Oh, yeah, Tom Nook, that's right. Okay.
Balance the party's gold. Or whatever.
All right.
F's in the chat for Gal, by the way.
We killed her with the question. Oh well.
Well, and at first I was just like, is this because of Valentine's? Like, are they supposed to be just partners? I wasn't exactly sure what the game was. The
same as Gal. I actually
Yeah.
misread the question the first time, and I thought you were saying like, what characters would you want to ship together romantically? And so I had that answer.
If you wanted to take it, so that was actually the original question that I wrote was ship two characters, but I was like, I don't know, that's kind of gay. So
you see, I'm with that. When he asked it that way, I was lost. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't care. But then he came out with the two gaming styles, and I'm like, okay, this I can do.
Well, that was my original thought, was like ship two characters, but I was like, Kay's gonna give me crap for that. So I was like, pair up a male and a female character. If you want to make it romantic, go for it. If you don't, they could just be partners. Whatever you want to do with it is fine.
I don't think anybody wants to be romantically involved with a raccoon, so
I wouldn't make that.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. There's furries.
There's
that one Sonic game. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
FurryCon's a real place in Las Vegas.
That human woman kissed Sonic to bring him back to life or something, and Sonic 06. Was that Sonic 06?
Yes.
Kay's like, don't bring that game up. We don't talk about that game.
No, if you want to scar yourself with Sonic, go read fan fiction.
Yes.
Sonic High School.
I avoid it.
A bad thing,
choice.
But I've not seen any myself. So
the only reason I heard of that was Sheep sitting and read it on one of his Twitch streams.
Ew.
Oh my god! Just if you need to be scarred, go look that up.
I read enough Harry Potter fan fiction. I'm okay.
The only weird fan fiction that I know about is when the whole Chris Chan thing with Sonichu, like, because I watched a guy who covered the whole like thing. It was like 3 hours on YouTube, like this documentary showing his progression into madness, and I was like, I felt dirty after that.
There's a guy that breaks it down, like he has multiple episodes. If you really want to go down a rabbit hole, that's the one.
I don't.
It's like 50 hours of Chris Chan. You don't want to go through it.
Yeah, no, I think the 3 hours was enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very fascinating at the time, but afterwards I just felt extremely gross.
However, the 6-hour documentary by Frederick Knudsen on EVE Online, definitely recommend that.
Okay.
I do like documentaries about weirdos, I'll admit, but that's probably just because, I've been a cop, so.
So I do want to say the only reason that I don't really have an answer to this question, whether it was like shipping characters together or anything, is because I like the games that I've played. I like how they ended up for all of them.
Yeah.
So I just didn't really have a mindset of combining, but I did like the answers y'all gave, especially with like Samus and Master Chief or Indiana Jones and Lara Croft. Like those make sense and are good answers in my opinion, but I don't specifically have.
Speaking of Master Chief, who's watching Halo Season 2?
Oh,
What's
we're not
that?
getting into that.
Why would anybody go back?
I'm a big Halo fan. I played it through college quite a bit.
Yep.
And I watched the first season and I was just like, ugh.
The action
The
is
whole
better in
time.
season 2, but he still takes his helmet off all the time.
Well, I mean, how are you supposed to know his emotions and how he's expressing anything if his helmet is on, guys?
You know, I gotta be honest.
like-
I don't even. Well, he actually does some pretty good emoting with the helmet on now. Like, so I'll say they've actually advanced that a little bit. And the only reason I'm watching season 2 is because I watched
You
season
have to.
1. I don't have to, but they said they were going to change things, right? They made it very explicit they were going to
That
try
would
to
be
do things
better.
better.
And you trust
We
in
talked
that?
about that on After the
They've
Weekend a few
done
weeks
some
ago.
things better. Like the action is better. He's more badass in this. He's done some emoting with the helmet on, almost probably to the levels of course, this would most
Isn't
likely.
he Cortana?
Essentially.
Yeah, like didn't
well,
he die,
Cortana's
but
actually
she took over.
at the end, yes, but
Yeah.
they ripped Cortana out of him, and now he's back to life, and he's himself.
Spoilers.
I like
Oh
that
my-
If
actor.
you really care,
Yeah. Can you
I
spoil
really-
crap?
I mean, they literally take you there within the first 5 minutes of the first episode. So I'm not really spoiling anything.
Okay. I was just joking. I don't care about.
But
spoilers
yeah,
for
no,
that.
he does some decent emoting, like some emotional work with the helmet on. By the way, just almost similar to the Mandalorian season 1. So I give him some credit for that. But no, it's still just. I mean, he's half the episodes he's walking around out of the suit, no helmet, just like in a standard uniform, and I'm like,
Does he have clothes on?
yeah,
No
he's got
master cheeks yet?
yeah. There's no butt cheeks. Which I'm okay with.
Nadia, what were you saying?
I
Yes.
like the actor who plays him.
I do
liked
too.
him in American Gods. He was very good in American Gods.
I
but,
think he's a
you
great
know.
actor.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for the for the crap.
Yep. I'm with James. I'm a big Halo fan. I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not a big Halo fan. I only just started playing. So with FPSs, I didn't know anything about campaign modes. And like I said, I don't like playing with other people because they'd have to rely on me and I suck. So
I know,
that was
we've seen
kind of
the
like
driving
why
videos.
go fuck yourselves. Brian and
it's hard not to swear.
I know, right?
I lasted an hour.
Why do you think I've been so quiet over here? I'm like,
Well, and then I remembered I didn't actually say that. I caught myself and said stuff. Or I almost said it. But anyway.
Yeah, Static is referencing it too. After about driving the Warthog.
I am better than Devil when Devil tried, and I am better than Horny Alf when he tried. And Brian Reaper confirmed that, so they could screw off. They just nitpicked the times that I flipped it over on its head and then fell off of.
You drove straight through a hole that was there the whole time.
It wasn't there the whole time.
It was
You
there the whole time.
literally see the pillar crash and break it. So go screw yourself.
Yeah, it was like
Anyway,
it
back
was
on
literally like
topic.
2 panels before that. She just.
Oh, is it the Halo 3 escape sequence?
Yeah,
what
you
you're
guys are
talking
playing
about?
Halo 3, right?
Was it Halo 3? I can't remember.
Yeah,
now.
pretty sure it was 3.
Yeah, because at the end of Halo 3, you're driving and all the ground is falling out.
Yeah, like everything was falling apart and like
Yeah.
the pillar comes down. And I tried stopping when I realized, but it didn't work. Until we died.
It happens.
But I had only just started Halo 1 campaign mode last year. So I have no emotional investment in it whatsoever. And I still don't want to watch it because I really hate when IPs, even if I'm not familiar with them, get ruined.
Yeah.
Like it.
I'm not a
Understandable.
huge Halo fan. I like Halo. But I never had the gaming system for the most part to really carry on becoming a big fan. So I'd probably be a lot more, say, repulsed by the show had I. I mostly played it when I was hanging out with my friends because they all had like Xbox. Well, I had an Xbox, but like 360s and stuff like that.
Mhm.
All my friends were massive with the 360s. I was always a PlayStation 3 kind of guy. So, I mean, even though my friend would play Oblivion and Skyrim, but I would play it on the PlayStation 3 and he'd play it on the 360. So sometimes we were coming from the same corner, but I played on Uncharted and he played Uncharted on my PS3 and I played Fable on his 360, but I never picked up Halo again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd like to. I got the Master Chief Collection, so I need to.
Yeah,
Fable
I'm
was the-
I'm a big fan of Halo, so if anyone wants a Halo co-op partner, let me know. I'm happy to play Halo again.
If you can figure out how to get the co-op to work, because way back when, before Gal and Alf were trying to do this, like for some reason it seemed like console to Steam was having an issue.
Oh, I've never done it cross-platform, so I don't know about that.
Yeah,
it
depends on which one it is. So Reach, we were gonna start after Halo.
Oh, that's right. Some of the campaigns are crossplay and some of them are not.
Yep.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
that's just so. Well, Neo and I wouldn't have that problem because he plays everything on Steam.
Well, I play on Steam, and so that's
okay.
Alf plays on console.
Yep, he plays on console, which is one reason that
you can play because it is on Game Pass and it is smart delivery, so you can play it on your computer if you want rather than on your console.
Yeah.
But that's still going essentially crossplay, even though you're playing it on PC, because Steam is considered a different platform, so that still wouldn't help.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I have it on Steam, but for some reason, like it would connect sometimes to other people who actually, but then it would like all of a sudden kick us out. So it's like they haven't worked the bugs out. They want it to be maybe Steam and then console friendly, but it's just not.
Yeah.
So because we get into a room, but we wouldn't be able to start a mission, and I was like, doesn't make any sense. Like you let us in the room.
And I was all excited because you can like customize the character in Reach when you couldn't in 3, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I could like make it green."
There's a little bit, well, at least in the multiplayer. But yeah, in Reach they really expanded upon that ability to really customize your Spartan.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the first time though. It reaches obviously is where you play somebody mostly opposite of Master Chief, the sole protagonist. There's a lot of people who aren't Reach was good. I know ODST. A lot of people kind of hated.
I liked ODST,
but I didn't see a problem with ODST.
But one of the things is that Halo 1, 2, and 3, you're Master Chief, who's a Spartan 2, but then in Reach, you play as Spartan 3s, who are not in the lore. They're like because the Spartan 2s were like genetically like altered to like get older faster, but the Spartan 3s were not, and they have lower quality armor, so they're not as strong as Spartan 2s. So that's also part of it, is that you're not playing as powerful of a character. And then in ODST, you're just playing as Marines, ODST, which are shock drop troopers.
Orbital drop shock troopers.
Yes. And they don't have shields or anything, so you're much weaker, and you can't jump like over giant rocks like you can as a Spartan, who's like a super soldier. But one of the things that I liked about ODST is that because all the other games are very straightforward, very linear. ODST, you actually have a open worlds, and you kind of go around it finding clues to your teammates, and then you kind of relive their memories somehow to find what happened to them. So I thought that was a pretty interesting take on changing up the formula a bit.
I think that's probably one of the criticisms I actually heard, because a lot of people liked the fact that it was a little more linear telling a story. You kind of your objective is to get to point A to point Z by the end of the said mission, and they would throw a lot of crazy stuff in the way. I didn't mind ODST. I thought it was a lot of fun as a multiplayer. I think it was a lot of fun to get people together to play that. My experience the most though would have been with Halo 2. My friend and I, on a Friday and Saturday night after I got out of the military, like half the time we'd get drinks, and like our girlfriends would kind of hang out and stuff like that, and they'd watch us just beat the shit out of like people, in Halo 2, and it was funny.
James brings a good point, is that ODST is basically a huge Firefly reference, because Nathan Fillion is the voice of Buck, and Dare is voiced by
Alan Tudyk.
No, it's a woman.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Oh, Tim Talk's here. What's up, Tim Talk?
He says Tay rules.
But yeah, there's a lot of references.
Is there something Tim needs to tell us?
Wow.
Yeah.
But okay. So before we wrap up, I think when I kind of was a few minutes ago when I was talking about where this last question came from, that sparked a thought for Kay. Did you have anything else you wanted to add about
the original question, or the question that you turned it
about
into?
Pairing up the characters?
The
like the romance options? Okay,
yeah.
I actually did have an answer for the romance options, just in case that's what you meant.
Okay. I left it open so you could take it either way you wanted, was where I was coming from.
All right. Well, there's gonna be like no Fire Emblem fans in your chat because I know you hate tactics games. So, but Fire Emblem fans in the chat, let me tell you, Lynn and Hector from Fire Emblem 7 should have been together. That was my answer. Pretty much
Okay.
the character that they made a character specifically for Fire Emblem 7 because they pretty much thought we were dumb in the West and we needed a tutorial. So they made a character that's the first 10 chapters of the game and it's like a female protagonist. And everyone fell in love with this character so much, but the sequel came out beforehand, so like it was pretty much this was a prequel game, and so she's not in the other game, and everyone is like it's about the kids in the other game. It should be those two that had the kids, but they didn't because this character didn't exist. So that was my answer.
Okay.
Wow,
Nice.
talk about the bait and switch on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that would bug me if you like really end up liking a character and then all of a sudden they're like going, just kidding, here's the real game. Like,
Yeah, it's literally there's like 30 chapters in the game, but the first 10 chapters of the game is a character that just inserted. Like the pretty much the game with the kids was already out in Japan for ages and everyone loved them. So it's like, oh, we get to meet their parents finally. But they created a whole new character and it was like it's never canon in that game that this is their mom, but it should be. So
Okay.
very unique scenario. It's like that's the only time I would ever like
that's
care about a
wild.
shipping of a character. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
And
sense.
it's also a wildly bad decision too. Like, you know, to write a character that has technically, I guess, nothing to do with the final product.
Yeah.
It's like, let's
Is-
have
is-
this
is a
character
weird-
that everybody loves and let's completely ignore them and create a new character that no one cares about and make that the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
I have actually a quick question, because I've only played a limited amount of tactics games. What did you think of Final Fantasy Tactics? I liked it.
I enjoyed it. It was one of my
I've heard a lot of
favorites.
people like it.
But I do enjoy tactics game. If you like that kind of game, then if you like retro gaming, then going back and playing Shining Force and Shining Force 2 specifically are really good kind of tactic board games.
Yeah, I like turn-based tactics games like that. I really enjoyed it, so I would definitely be open to playing another one. So, yeah, it's just I know there were some people who weren't like a huge fan of it when it came out, because it came out on the Game Boy Advance.
Well,
SP?
Originally, it was a
An original
PlayStation game.
Yeah, it was originally a PlayStation. Was it 2?
one.
1.
GBA and GBA SP were the same thing. It's just the GBA SP had a folding screen and a backlight.
Okay, I had the one that had the folding screen, the one that was like, you know, more square.
That was my favorite. I love that thing.
I still have that thing to this day, and I still have Final Fantasy Tactics, and I got to be honest, like there are times I would rather, if I'm just watching TV, I'll put my phone down and just pick that thing up and just play because I still enjoy it to this day.
I think
I
you can
would have
actually play
mine
it
that
on your
got
phone now.
stolen.
Can you?
I think so. Don't like quote me on that, but I would.
Well, look though.
you check.
I'm intrigued now.
It
While
has
you're
been.
checking that, dude had a question. I have no idea what this means. It says, "Are you an apiatologist or an endodontologist?" I have no idea what these words are. Does
Dude,
anyone
you're
know what
too
these
smart.
mean?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Hold on, I gotta Google
Fine for
these.
me.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
assuming it's opiatologist,
You
Dude, you have to
can.
enlighten us. 'Cause
dermatologist,
I have
but I
no
don't
idea
know
what
what-
either of those things mean, so I can't
Like-
answer that.
Adonis.
Thank you,
Uh,
horror.
You're welcome. Opiatologist
call it?
culture, an opiatologist with how you
Horror?
define one. Yes.
Oh, and Neo's like, "What'd you call her?" I'm like, "Horror." I'm not Gary. I can actually enunciate.
I know. I was just messing with you. So sorry. Someone had pulled it up. What was the answer?
Part of the opiatology. Let's see if maybe that has a better definition, because right now that's just telling me how I would. A culture or religion that worships opi boobs,
Oh,
especially
Oh,
anime
I'm
boobs,
okay
and
with that
relevant
culture.
physics
Opi it is.
involved. A rival of this would be the Andeontology faith, which, hold on, and I'll get you what that one
I'm
is.
assuming it's
thinking that's
probably
an
the boob
Adonis.
versus butt.
That would be, yep, butts. So do we like ass or tits?
Ah.
It's the age old. He just made it. He classed it up a bit.
Yes.
I
All right.
like both because I have large hands. I'm 6'4", so is it cool to pick both, or do you have to really pick one?
I mean, I'm more into men, so I prefer asses, but
Right.
that's where I am.
I enjoy
But
the
I don't
men.
mind a nice set of tits either. But I would definitely prefer.
I
a
lean
good
more
ass.
towards the ass. Yeah.
Definitely the opiatol the O one, whatever that.
Okay.
The O one.
I'll be a telogist.
Thank you. Yes, that one.
I mean, I'd probably honestly have to go with boobs because
Who doesn't love boobs, man?
I mean, there's more opportunities to play in that area. Depending on
I
the
don't know about
person,
that.
you usually need a little more permission for
Ryan
the
just
latter.
became like a scientist all of a sudden.
I know, right?
Let me get
No,
my
I
Like
just-
analyzing it, breaking it down section by section.
I've been in enough relationships that some girls like, they're weird about their butt.
Makes sense. I mean, it is.
All right. Well, thank you for taking us completely off topic, dude.
I mean, I can go farther if you really want me to on this one.
We're gonna wrap it up here.
I mean, that was
So-
dude's fault, really.
Yes. So we're gonna go around the horn, let you plug your stuff. We'll go clockwise in the order that I'm seeing. I'm not sure if that's the same order everyone else is seeing, but Gal, tell us about yourself. What do you got going on? Tell us what you got going.
You can find me
Where we can find you.
You flustered right now?
You can find me on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, and Instagram, Green-Haired Anti-Liberal. I put out videos when I can. I have a day job and it's a little hard and I'm trying to find my niche. I just do what I like currently and I figure it out as I go. But I do stream on Vets Talkin' channel on Saturdays right now for a Skinamax Saturday, and that's at 8 p.m. Mountain. And then also on Samuel the Infamous's channel at 4 p.m. Mountain. Screaming into the Void, where we kind of talk about the depressing topics of the day and try not to be too depressed by it, and sometimes slide in a few jokes. But
Ryan mentions Screaming into the Void all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. We start in about an hour and a half.
Yep.
Okay.
And then on Sunday nights, I stream on Horny Alf's channel. We're going to be doing Phasmophobia with the lovely horror Amorata tomorrow at 10 p.m. Mountain. So that's me.
And I remembered ahead of time, I preloaded all of your YouTube channels and Twitter links in the description of the stream. So if you go click more, you should see all the links to all their channels. Go subscribe to all these wonderful ladies and Ryan.
Thank you.
You
You could have just said
Ryan, it's
lazies.
okay.
You could just said ladies. It wouldn't bother me none.
I mean, look at his background.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Hayes for
I'm just
horses.
saying-
Hey, we
I'm
don't
just-
shame the Tay-Tay. We don't shame the
just-
I
Tay-Tay.
I'm just
absolutely
saying.
do.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
glad-
Yeoman Taylor, she does a
Nope.
great
Nope.
job emptying the
Nope.
bucket.
I-
She's on-
Maybe you
she's on
shouldn't
permanent
shit in
bucket
that.
duty.
I'm glad you said that, because when someone said, hey, and then you, Gal, you said it's for horses. And one time I remember everyone busted out laughing because someone said, hey, and then another person said, is for horses. And I said, and Sarah Jessica Parker.
See, when I was a kid, I would say, and cows like you. But that was when my less mature days.
I don't understand the Sarah Jessica Parker one though, but I get
It's a
me.
internet
horse
meme
face?
that
Oh, is
she
it?
More
Okay.
meme.
looks
She
like
doesn't
a
actually
horse.
look like a horse.
Yeah.
in my
I don't
opinion.
think
No.
so, but that's the internet
I
meme.
feel
Is that she
Julia
looks
Roberts
like a horse.
looks more, but
I feel
okay.
like Hillary Swank looks more
Hmm.
horse face.
Have you seen? Do you ever watch the episode of The Office when they're arguing whether she's hot or beautiful?
Yes. Oh my god, I love that.
And they're like
do remember that.
scientifically breaking it down
Yes.
like quadrant by quadrant.
Oh god, it's so good.
I think Hillary Swank is actually pretty if she has long hair. But when
I'm
she
not
has
saying
man,
she's not pretty, but
when
like
she has man hair, no.
it's kind of the ladies with like striking features remind me of horse face type things. And I'm not
Well-
saying that they're not beautiful.
It's also kind of like Demi Moore when she's in G.I. Jane, like go no. But when she has long hair, she's actually pretty. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
she's a weirdo, but that's a very different story. Like weirdo.
because you're so normal.
No, I mean as in
Takes one to know one.
flown to an island weirdo.
Oh, that kind of weirdo.
Yeah, she was mentioned. Anyway, I see you're on
Alright.
Kick, dude. Very nice. I
Yeah.
haven't got my Kick stuff set up yet. I got to do it.
I
Gotta
mentioned
do
this
it.
on Achievement Chasers last night. I like Restream because on the free version,
James.
you can on the free version of Restream, you've been able to stream to two sources at 2 platforms at a time. They just changed it like within the last week. You can now stream to 3 on the
Nice.
free version. So I was able to add another platform. So shout out to Restream for adding another free platform for the free version. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think Restream is doing a pretty good job. I used to actually use Restream. I use OBS Studios, and then I Restream through to multiple locations, and then I picked up StreamYards. But yeah, I noticed that StreamYards, when it comes to like basically more graphically intense games, it is crap. And apparently, you have to do some weird overlay too that G&G does. with like OBS and then StreamYards, and you kind of like underlay it or something like that. I still haven't figured out how to do it.
Yeah,
I stick with OBS and Restream just because I like having the extra control personally.
Yeah.
All right, Nadia, what you got going on?
In about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, Inside All Day Gaming, we'll have our second session of 1001 Masks. It's a D&D 5e campaign.
Cool.
It's kind of Call of Cthulhu homebrew. So
Ooh.
we've got that. And then
attention.
I'm taking off next week for all streamings, but normally I'm everywhere. So just follow me on Twitter on NerdDollface, and I post where I'm at.
All right. And Ryan, are you also on Streaming Into the Void in a little bit?
Yes, I am. I thank you real quick to Dude. So shout out to the chat. I was just going to look into that. A plugin for OBS to multi-stream. So
yeah,
thanks.
I use that as well when I'm not doing a panel stream. I do that as well. So yeah,
awesome. Then you and I can actually talk about that.
Okay.
You can give me a hand. So no, appreciate chat. You guys are the best. Thank you to everybody on the panel. Obviously, I've been on panel with pretty much all of you. The ladies are awesome. And yeah, so I'll be on Screaming Into the Void literally in an hour and a half. This is my first Saturday off in like a month and a half. Unfortunately, work calls. Going to be probably moving on to a more, say, community-oriented job soon. So it'll probably start bouncing around again. And, you know, when you become an actual essential employee, we'll say similar to a firefighter, yeah, you have no choice. But that'll be probably a few months away. Anyway, long story short, I'll try to be on Vets Talking tonight, Screaming Into the Void. Sometimes because it's later towards the end of the day, I don't always make it. But tomorrow, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing on my history channel, Legion Teaches History. We're going to be reviewing episode 3 of Hunting Hitler. It's a History Channel documentary about the fact that he probably escaped, and you'll see why. So it's a lot of fun. Myself, Clifton 3D, Clue are on it. And then, of course, Star Trek Engage tomorrow, 2:15 Mountain Standard Time, 4:15 Eastern Standard Time, where it gets weird. And we have who do we have on? Gosh darn it,
Netters.
Thank you, Netter and I know her husband. I'm gonna feel so bad.
Or do you?
I do. Hold on, let me pull my Twitter. Anyway, don't miss it because Samuel the Infamous will be there. Anna will be there. Thank you, Troy Pacelli. Yeah, Troy Pacelli. And his wife Netta will be there. They will be our joint Wesleys. So shut up, Wesley. Shout out to Gal, who's a former Wesley.
When he said Vets Talking, it's Skinamax Saturday, not doubling up on Screaming Into the Void.
Yes, yep. Thank you for the correction.
All right. Or Amorata, what do you got going on coming up?
Well, in about 3.5 hours, I will be playing Neverwinter Nights with Sheep Obsidian, myself, my friends Robust, Delirium, and Daryl and Manta, where we're going to spend most of the time yelling at each other while playing through an old-fashioned D&D game, video game. Tomorrow night, I will probably be doing the same thing at one point. Maybe I got to talk to the guys and see if that's what they're up for. But then, of course, I will be on with Tiff and Alf and Devil Made Me Do It, and we're gonna yell at some ghosts on Phasmophobia. Yeah, that's what I do, a lot of yelling apparently. Mondays, you can actually see my actual face if that's what you really want, while I talk to my friend Starsan about animals and everything else. Again, more yelling. Wednesdays, you can catch me on the Shagsworth channel while we do Midweek Hump. Thursdays, you can stop by it, and I am in the middle of reading At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. Just narrating. That's also my birthday.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. And then Fridays, I typically play a video game. This Friday will probably be more Pal World, and will probably remain on my off days, on my video gaming days, Pal World, until the 20th. I will have a stream to start playing Nightingale, which I'm excited for. So
cool. All right. And Kay, what do you guys got going on over at Melee Games?
You guys hear about me so much on this channel, but that's fine. I'll do the quick rundown. I'm Melee K or Charisma, whatever you prefer to call me. I don't care. I am one half of Melee Games. My other counterpart, Melee James, was in chat, as you guys saw. And we have a great. I just want to take a second. If you are here because you're here from another group, please follow Nerdy Neo. He does a great show. I just want to say that. There's a few people I watch on the internet. He's somebody I always tune into because he honestly does really good gaming discussion. So before I shill myself, please, if you're in the chat, like and follow because this is a great channel. Okay.
I appreciate
now,
it.
back to regular scheduled program. So Melee K, Melee Games. What do we do today at 5 o'clock? We're doing a Super Bowl pre-show, so we're going to be playing some special stuff for an hour. And then we're going to be doing Lethal Company with a few people tonight. And then what else do I have? Tomorrow we're not doing anything because it's Super Bowl, so we're not here. But on Valentine's Day, James and I are going to play some Super Seducer together on our channel. So that will be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, otherwise, we got our podcast next week. All that stuff. It's fine. But yeah, thanks for having us or having me on. I should say I don't want to speak for everyone.
But you are speaking for everyone, my dear.
And I hate it here, so I hate it.
Well, I appreciate you showing up anyway.
Power Couch Nation, by the way.
Power Couch.
I have to defend Dermy still, even though we bicker. It still have to stand with Dermy. I'm sorry.
I would say where's Paul, but he's streaming right now too, so I haven't seen him in a bit.
You and Anna, I just don't get it. You stick by that weirdo. Of course, I love that weirdo, but I realize he's a weirdo and he tortures pickles. So.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Ballbusters on Fridays at 9 p.m. I forgot to mention that. Sorry, Dermy. I produced for that show and I forgot.
And I'm going to be on there with you soon too.
Yes, on the 23rd.
Yeah. And
I'm going to further shill Melee Games because we're having a community gaming night for my favorite game, Mass Effect 3, on March 5th. It's a 4-player game. We got 3 people. So if anyone wants to join us for Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, go into the Melee Games Discord and the community events channel, I think.
Yeah.
And tag K, say, hey, I want to play Mass Effect 3. We're playing on the Xbox version. There's a lot of interest in a Steam version night, so that'll probably happen later. We're going to do Steam as well. We'll do Steam as well. I'm going to start with Xbox, and we'll just plan like different nights based on what people want to play on. So. Yeah, go join Melee Games Discord. We have a lot of fun talking about most of the games, but all sorts of fun craziness over there. So, yeah, for me, I don't really have anything else planned, but I always say I typically do a Thursday night stream called Open Mic, where it's just typically one-on-one and just open-ended discussion about video games. We kind of go wherever the conversation takes us. No real planned topics, kind of like party chat. It's kind of the opposite. So if anyone, literally anyone, it's open to anyone, just let me know. We'll make it happen. You want to come on, talk video games with me? That's why I started my channel. So hit me up on Twitter or in Discord, and we'll make it happen. So I appreciate all of my excellent panelists for joining me today. That was a lot of fun. I love this episode. And everyone in the chat, appreciate all of you joining us today. And have a great, safe, I think Super Bowl's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
All right. Everyone drink responsibly if you're drinking for the Super Bowl, and have a fun Valentine's Day in this upcoming week. And we will catch you all later, everyone. In the meantime, game on.